This is very important as far as infrastructure push in terms of Guwahati, which is the biggest city in the northeast. A short while back, the Prime Minister landed at Guwahati on board a AIF transport aircraft from Dibrugarh after inaugurating the emergency landing facility on the national highway. And now you can see those visuals of the Prime Minister's roadshow Guwahati, where he is moving the newly constructed bridge, Kumar Bhaskar Varma Bridge, which is going to be the third bridge over the mighty Brahmaputra in Guwahati. It will join the main city of Guwahati on the southern bank to the North Guwahati part. Now remember, North Guwahati is the area which is witnessing several infrastructure development. The IIT Guwahati, the AIIMS Guwahati, and several other institutions are there. In fact, the Guwahati High Court is being moved there. In fact, before this bridge was constructed, it used to take about an hour from the main city to reach North Guwahati. If somebody has to commute from the main city to IIT Guwahati, it was more than an hour's drive. But now with this 6-lane bridge, which is a state-of-the-art building, not only in terms of its design and architecture, but it is also a bridge which is built with material which are earthquake resistant. Given the fact that Guwahati and rest of Assam, rest of Northeast is earthquake prone, now the travel time, which used to be close to an hour, would be reduced to 7 to 10 minutes. This is going to be a major boost for thousands of people who commute between the two ends of the city, which are divided by the mighty Brahmaputra that flows in between. Previously, people from North Guwahati only had the option either to take an hour-long drive or take the ferry services on the Brahmaputra, but the ferry services used to get disrupted by, in winters by fog, and then in summer because of, high floods on the Brahmaputra. For months, ferry services used to get disrupted, and that point of time, the entire pressure used to be on the Saraighat Bridge, which is a couple of kilometers away, and therefore this second alternative now is going to actually help commuters a lot, and particularly for the part of North Guwahati, because the North Guwahati expansion is taking place so that the main city can be decongested, and this bridge is going to be the main pivotal infrastructure push in terms of overall infrastructure development that would take place around North Guwahati.
Right, absolutely, Rathideep. You rightly mentioned that the bridge is not just an engineering marvel, but is also a major time cutter. You've also mentioned about how it's going to slash the travel time between Guwahati and North Guwahati from 45 to 60 minutes to about 7 to 10 minutes. I also wish to understand, the Prime Minister, this is his big infrastructure push in Assam. He's inaugurating projects worth rupees 5,450 crores. Walk us through some of the other projects. What exactly are these projects about?
That's right. In fact, there are several major projects, including the inauguration of the the makeshift campus of the IIM Guwahati. The full-fledged campus would come up in a couple of years' time. But IIM Guwahati is yet another major boost to the northeast region in terms of the infrastructure push, as well as also the push in terms of better higher education facility in the Northeast. Northeast India's first national data center is going to come up, is being inaugurated. Now, this national data center is very important in terms of data informatics, in terms of data communication.
Right.
Today, with the inauguration of the ELF, which is very important. Then the major infra push with this 6-lane bridge. Then push in terms of higher education with the IIT Guwahati, and then you have the Data Information Center. Also, not to forget, Prime Minister is going to dedicate to the nation over 200 buses, which are e-buses, of which 100 would run in Guwahati. So this is in terms of urban transport and urban communication.
Right.
In a way, the Prime Minister really addressing several aspirations of the people of Assam through these projects, which are worth several hundred crores.
Well, Ratniti, we're also seeing visuals of the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma on our screens, which is why I'm compelled to ask you. I believe that nothing in this world is devoid of political messaging. Of course, the Assam Assembly polls are also coming soon. How exactly is the politics faring out in the region?
Absolutely. If you look at the timing, this is very crucial. Within next couple of months, you have within next couple of days, the elections for Assam would be announced. The dates for elections would be announced. It's going to be a very crucial election, given the fact that the BJP would like to retain power for the third straight term. And therefore, if you see, the Prime Minister has visited Assam for the last 3 months thrice. This is the third visit of the Prime Minister in the last 3 months. And every time he has come, he has inaugurated or laid foundation stone of key projects for the region, which would not only mean more infrastructure development, more services, but also employment generation. So in terms of the narrative for the elections, while the BJP has been talking about its fight against illegal immigrants from Bangladesh and how they have driven them out from Assam, how they have got back government land from encroachers who are illegal infiltrators. But on the other hand, the BJP is also going to campaign in terms of how
right
has taken place in the last 15 years in Assam, particularly if you look at from 2016 when the BJP came to power in Assam for the first time. So therefore, in the last 10 years, the kind of development that Assam has seen under the double-engine government of Prime Minister Modi and first
right.
Sarvanand Sonowal and now Himanta Biswa Sarma is something that the BJP is going to reach out with to the people of Assam in its campaign, which would start after the elections are declared. But in a way, Prime Minister visiting Assam 3 times in last 3 months, already the pitch has been set for BJP's campaign. In fact, the Prime Minister is going to also address booth-level workers of BJP today in a political rally in Guwahati before he wraps up his day-long tour, perhaps giving a roadmap to the party workers and leaders how to approach the ensuing Assam elections.
Absolutely, Ratniti, because you mentioned the politics and the roadmap for the Assam elections, I also am compelled to bring the facts. We've seen an animated face-off between, of course, the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma and the Congress Member Parliament Gaurav Gogoi repeatedly. How exactly is the public or the civil society receiving this?
Well, we did see a lot of animated exchange of words between the Chief Minister and Congress Chief Gaurav Gogoi and between the two parties. For the people, what is more important is who is delivering for them. If that is the question, then perhaps this visit of the Prime Minister is very important. If you look at what we saw earlier in the day at the emergency landing facility at Moran in Dibrugarh district, it was not only messaging to perhaps the neighboring country, but to the people of India that look how we are securing our borders, how we are securing our facilities. And this is, and also perhaps, after Operation Sindoor, which has been celebrated by the common people across the country by launching the first state-of-the-art emergency landing facility on a highway in northeast, strategically located only 300 kilometers away from the LAC with China and even less than 100 kilometers away from the porous Indo-Myanmar border. New Delhi has given a signal that we are prepared and we are ready to secure our land. So this is a assurance that the Prime Minister is giving to the people, which will definitely manifest in the Assam election campaign. Talking about the infrastructure development again, be it this national highways or be it the road infrastructure or this state-of-the-art bridge which has come up. Now, this kind of infrastructure development would definitely create a positive vibe for the party in power to perhaps counter if there is any sort of anti-incumbency that has set in the last 10 years rule, which the opposition would try to work upon and build up a narrative. So therefore, this visit of the Prime Minister and the kind of inaugurations, foundation stone laying, and the kind of messaging that surrounds this visit clearly is going to give BJP edge in terms of building up its political narrative, which it will take forward towards as the party approaches the elections, as the campaigning starts, and this is something on which the BJP is going to build up.
Right, because Ratnadip, you've also mentioned that, of course, there's also politics surrounding, given the fact that it is a poll-bound state and this is the Prime Minister's third visit in the poll-bound season. I also wish to understand, have there been any reactions that have come about from any other parties like the Congress or the AIUDF?
Absolutely. In fact, if you look at the Congress or the AIUDF, for the AIUDF it would be rather a battle of political survival, because if you see, the party had could not do well in the last elections, and its Supremo Maulana Badruddin Ajmal had lost his traditional seat Dhubri in the last Lok Sabha election. So therefore, for Mr. Ajmal and for the party, it is going to be a battle for political existence. Secondly, for the Congress itself, which has seen several of its MLA actually leave the party and join the BJP after last year's, after the last elections in Assam. Even for the Congress, this is perhaps a battle where if it has to regain political space in Assam, this is one last chance, and therefore it has reposed faith on a young leader like Gaurav Gogoi. So for Gaurav Gogoi, it is going to be a litmus test, because he carries the legacy of his father, Tarun Gogoi, a Congress stalwart, a three-time chief minister. He himself is the deputy leader in Lok Sabha. So there is a lot at stake in terms of his legacy, in terms of his own credentials as a politician, as a young politician. But the question remains whether grassroots Congress workers, whether the party completely follows him or not, or whether there is traction for him or his leadership among the voters, because he is the opposition face to Himanta Biswa Sharma, who at this moment perhaps is in the peak of his political career, a very popular chief minister. So therefore, for the Congress and AIUDF, it's an even bigger challenge in this election. They're not only fighting the organizational mights of the BJP, but also the popularity of Himanta Biswa Sharma.